Hey, what's going on, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Ariana, and I know it's been a while since I last posted. It's been like almost 2 months, I think, and I really didn't mean for it to be that long. My last video was, I named it I've Been Sick. I'll link it up above. I meant to keep you guys updated after that last video, but I haven't even been updated like myself. So since April, in that video I said I haven't been feeling well. I've been having a lot of stomach pain, losing weight, not eating, nauseous, and a ton of more symptoms since then, but I guess that will be like a separate video in itself maybe. But my last time I talked to you guys was I think in June, and June, July, August, it has to be longer than a month. I think it was in June. I posted it later in June. So yeah, that last video I was at my gynecologist. I saw her, and I was gonna get a laparoscopy done, and that didn't go as planned. So just to like let you guys know what a laparoscopy is, I'm gonna read it off my phone. Laparoscopy is a surgical procedure in which a fiber optic instrument is inserted through the abdominal wall to view the organs in the abdomen or to permit a surgical procedure. And I was having that done to check if I had endometriosis, which is a disorder in which tissue that normally lines the uterus grows outside the uterus. And it can be found in the ovaries, fallopian tubes, or the intestines. So I was gonna have that done. I've always had like heavy periods, but because I was having the abdominal pain and like ovary pain and nauseous and not eating, sorry I burped, I'm like so out of breath because I haven't talked this much in a while. So I was gonna have that done because endometriosis runs in my family, and we were just gonna see if that could be the cause of everything, even though my gynecologist didn't think it was, but we were just gonna check. So that was planned for I think like July 11th, July 13th. So it was all planned and booked, and because of COVID, I had to get a COVID test before it. So I went to go get one, I think 2 days before it, because you have to do, I think like it takes like 24 to 72 hours to come back. So I went 2 days before it to go get it done, and I went, and I'll put a video up of me going.
Put your head back. It's gotta be quick. That's it.
Oh, that's quick.
It really wasn't like as bad as I thought it was gonna be, but it still sucked. And I know some people get it like further up or both sides. I only got it for like 6 seconds on one side, thank God. But yeah, I went to go get that done. But starting that week of July, it was like the beginning of July, I started getting a lot of heart and chest pain, like really bad. It would like take my breath away, and it just really hurt. And obviously I was freaking out, like, do I have corona? But I didn't have like other symptoms of it, and it wasn't tightness, it was just like pain in my chest and in my heart. So after that night of the COVID test, I got done in the morning, but that night I got a call from the hospital for a nurse to like ask me questions before the surgery. She's like, is there anything else you need me to know? Like after we were done with all the questions, I was like, yeah, I've kind of just been having heart and chest pain. And she was like, that's not good. And she's like, you should call your gynecologist to see if she still wants you to have the surgery. And I emailed my doctor, and no, I'm like getting ahead of myself. It's been so long. A week before the COVID test, I emailed my doctor saying I was having heart and chest pain. He's like, oh, you're fine, you're young, it's nothing. Let me know in a week if it gets worse or doesn't go away. And I'm like, but I'm emailing you now because it's painful and it's my heart and my chest. So fast forward a week, the day of the COVID test, the day that the nurse called me, and she's like, you should call your gynecologist's office. And then I called, and the nurse there picked up, and she's like, that doesn't sound right. Why would your doctor not check you right away? And then she's like, I'll pass the note on to the gynecologist. And the note gets passed on to her. She's like, we're not doing surgery, sorry. And I'm like, you're joking. I literally just got a COVID test for this, and now I can't get it done. So got the COVID test done for nothing. So we rescheduled, in her next booking from like, I think it was like August 13th or something, I think was the day of the surgery that was supposed to be. And she's like, my next thing is August 21st. And I was like, you're joking. I was supposed to, I don't know if you guys know, but I was supposed to start going to esthetician school August 10th or 11th. So I had to postpone school because of this, because they're so strict on their policy. So I had to postpone school. So now my new date was for August 21st, and I had to go see a cardiologist, which is a heart doctor, before I could go get the laparoscopy done. So like fast forward, like I see that person, he's also like, you're young, you're fine, don't hear anything, and I'm like, but it hurts. So he was like, I'll just send your gynecologist an email for a-okay, have the surgery. So that was all for nothing, because he was literally like, you're fine, you're young. So that was for nothing. So yeah, fast forward again. 2 days before the laparoscopy, I have to get another COVID test. So it's already my second one. This one actually hurt less than the first one, even though I wouldn't necessarily say it hurts, it's just uncomfortable, but it was more comfortable than the first one. This person was gentle, and I think she could tell I was scared. I was holding my mom's hand. She's like, don't worry, I'm super gentle. I'm like, okay, but I mean, you're shoving it up my nose. So yeah, so then that Friday, August 21st was my laparoscopy day. Luckily, with Little General, they switched their rules, so for surgeries you can bring in one person with you until you get wheeled back, which thank God, because I would have panicked. So I brought my boyfriend Nate. In my surgery time, I think it was at like 9:30 in the morning, but we had to, was it earlier? I remember I was getting up at 6:30. Maybe, I think we had to be there at 7:30, 8 in the morning, and then the surgery was like an hour after that. So we got there, we had to wait in the waiting room for a little bit, and then we got brought back to where it's like a bunch of like rooms that are open that just have the curtains covering them. So we got like our own little room, and then I got in there, I had to change into my gown, I think I had a peanut cup, and then Nate was trying to get me in the gown, and like he couldn't get the back of it tied right, and people were coming like in and out, giving you no space, no privacy. It's like a quick rush. He's still tying the back of my dress, and someone walks in and they're like, okay, we're taking your blood. I'm like, why are we taking blood? I didn't know we were taking blood. So I had to like sit down, get blood taken, which I hate. And then a bunch of people kept coming in, like introducing themselves, like the anesthesiologist, other nurses that would be in the room with me during it. I was laying in a bed during this, and he was on a chair, and then they started me on an IV, which, not fun. It was IV in my hand. My hand's still messed up from that and whatever medicine that they put in to knock me out during the surgery. It hurt. That was like, I think my first time I ever got an IV in my hand, and it hurt. And the nurse putting it in, she was like staring at my hand for a while. She's like, oh, I can't tell if that's like a vein or a cavity. And I'm like, don't say that out loud to me, because you're only gonna freak me out. So eventually she put it in, and it hurt, and then I thought she was done, so I looked down at it and she wasn't done, and then she was pushing it in more, and I was like, oh, this is horrible. And I was just being a little baby because I just didn't want anything near it. I didn't want to move it, and they started me on IV. I don't know if it was liquids or something, because with the laparoscopy, once 12 a.m. that morning, you can't eat or drink. I did have Prilosec and a lorazepam the day of. Lorazepam is like a relaxer or something, and the Prilosec is, I think, like an antacid. So I gotta have those the day of. But yeah, so it was basically a bunch of waiting, IV, doctors coming in not to talk to you, and then they're like, okay, I think we're ready to bring you back. So they sent my boyfriend off, and they don't even, I thought they knocked you out before they bring you into the exam, like the examination room or wherever they do the surgery. I thought they knocked you out beforehand, but they don't. And I was like, thank God I had the lorazepam in me, because I probably would have lost my shit. So they wheel you back into all these different rooms, and each room you go into, it gets colder and colder, and then it's really cold in the surgery room. At least that's what they told me. Like, I felt it getting a little colder, but I was sweating because I was so nervous, so like I didn't care. So then they wheel you in from your bed, and then they had like a table with all like the, not utensils, but like all the surgical things just laid out with nurses around it, and I'm like, great, like I saw that, all those things, all those sharp tools, and like that made me freak out more. And they lined me up against like this little weird bed thing, and someone like unties the back of my dress. Someone, I didn't even realize my mask got taken off. Someone took my mask off, because you have to go with your mask on, obviously. And then they had me switch tables, and I was like, this is great. And then they put my feet up on these weird things, and they put like compression things around my legs, and I guess someone was there physically just to massage my legs during the surgery to keep like blood flowing. And then the anesthesiologist is like, oh, we're gonna cook you up some like cocktails and stuff. And I was like, okay. And they put like a breathing mask around my face for a little bit, which I know that got taken off because I'm pretty sure with that surgery they put a tube down your throat. So that was only on for a little bit, I guess. And then the anesthesiologist was like, oh, okay, you feel anything yet? And I was like, no. He's like, oh, really? I gave you 4. And he was like, okay, we'll give you more. I was like, okay. So I'm just laying there staring at the ceiling, and they're like, wow, you're doing really good, because like I wasn't freaking out. And I was like, I really just want to get this over with. Like, I waited an extra whole month for this. And then he goes, okay, the medicine might start to burn your hand a little bit or your arm as it goes in. And one of the nurses started like rubbing around my IV area to get it to like, I don't know, maybe go in faster. And the rest of them are just like prepping around me, and I'm like freaking out. And all of a sudden I felt like my whole left arm was on fire and being stabbed at the same time. It hurt, and I was like, oh, this hurts. And they're like, yeah, it's gonna hurt. And I was like, no, it really hurts. And then I was just staring at the ceiling, and then I was just out. So the surgery, I don't know how long it was. It was probably only like 5 to 15 minutes. And then I woke up in recovery. I woke up like, I was like opening my eyes and shutting them a lot, and then I felt nauseous. I keep burping. Yeah, I felt nauseous. What would I explain it as? I think I don't know if it was abdominal pain or cramping. I honestly can't remember now, but I was either having abdominal pain, cramping, or probably both, because they make incisions in you, which I'll show you guys a video in a bit. But that hurt really bad, and I had like a nurse in there asking me how I felt, and I was like, I'm cramping really bad. So she went to go get me medicine through the IV to help with cramping. But then she came back, I was like, I'm really nauseous. So then, of course, she had to give me, not of course, but she had to give me the nausea medicine, I guess, before she can give me the medicine for my pain. So she gave me that for a little bit, and then she's like, do you still feel nauseous? So I was like, not as much, I just want the stomach pain to go away. So she switched me the IV or whatever to that to help with the abdominal pain. I was in there for a while. I asked how long I was in there before I woke up, and I was in there for like less than 15 minutes before I actually woke up. But I was in there for like over an hour total, because after the recovery room you have to go back to like the rooms where you were in the beginning, and there was no beds open, so I had to wait for a long time. And then what else? I'm like blanking now because it's been, I think Friday will be 3 weeks. Oh, I also got a Mirena inserted. So a Mirena is IUD. It's like a 5-year birth control. It's like a little T-shaped thing like this big that gets inserted, and I got that inserted during surgery. So originally I was only gonna get it inserted if I had endometriosis, and if I didn't, I was just gonna stick with my pill. But I ended up just being like, whatever, let's try it out, let's do it. So I got that inserted too, which let alone was a big mistake, which I'll let you guys know. So yeah, I was just in recovery for a while. Then I got brought eventually back up to the regular rooms. A nurse came to check my incision, which I didn't know I had I have a belly button incision and one in my lower left abdomen. I didn't know I had the one in my lower left abdomen. The nurse didn't even see that one, so we were just talking the one about my belly button. He said it looked good. I was there for a while. I was bleeding a lot. They gave me like this weird, like, not a diaper, but like some underwear diaper type thing that was just cheap and sucked, and I had blood like all over my bed. So yeah, basically I was just there for a long time. And then I went home. They prescribed me Vicodin, which I took for a couple days because the pain was so bad. I was taking Vicodin and then mixing like a few hours later with ibuprofen. I was in a lot of pain. And I did that for a few days, but then I stopped on the Vicodin because I just didn't like how it made me feel. But I needed it at first because I was in a lot of pain. And then when they give you the laparoscopy, they fill your stomach up with gas so they can see everything, and they can't take it out the same way as they used to because of COVID apparently. So my chest was like, when I would breathe, it was like bubbles popping in my chest because of the gas, and like it made me just not want to breathe because I was like, this hurts so bad. And then I got a lot of back of back of my neck pain and shoulder pain from the gas for a couple days, so I just drank a lot of peppermint tea and used a heating pad. So yeah, I'll pop up a video of my incisions. Don't make fun of my stomach. I know it's kind of hairy. I had to let my hair grow in for the surgery. So yeah, that was the incision spots. It's not like that clear on the video. I can actually, I won't show you guys it now, but I still have like that glue a little bit on my lower left side, but it's almost off. And then I still have glue inside my belly button that's almost off. It's lifting. It just looks weird and gross. So yeah, that was the laparoscopy, and turns out don't even have endometriosis. So it was kind of for nothing. Like that, to find out if you have endometriosis, you have to do that surgery. There's no other way. But I didn't even have it, so it was all kind of like for nothing. And I was kind of mad because I was going in through a lot of pain, and it wasn't an answer to what I've been going through since April. So yeah, still no answers for that. And then the Mirena was the biggest mistake of my life. After like 4 days, I started getting extremely nauseous and so lightheaded, and I thought it was from the Vicodin, so that's why I stopped. But it wasn't. It was my side effects kicking in from the Mirena, and that lasted about like, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 days. And then maybe like 6 days after the surgery, I started getting headaches that lasted all day, that I would take ibuprofen or Tylenol and it wouldn't go away. And then those headaches eventually turned into migraines, all day migraines that I would wake up with, go to sleep with, wake up with again. And it just wasn't worth it to me. I had the Mirena. So I ended up having the Mirena for a total of like 2 weeks, and I got taken out. I was supposed to have it for, I was supposed to still have it, and then on the 10th, I believe, of September, I was supposed to have my post-op appointment, but I ended up calling and I was like, can I just come in and get this thing taken out? And luckily the gynecologist had a cancellation, so I got to go in that day. And she looked at my incisions. She said they looked fine. She was surprised the glue was still on. And then she went to go pull out my Mirena, and she's like, oh, I can barely see the strings. I was like, what does that mean? So if you don't know, there's little strings that come down off the Mirena that you're supposed to do like a monthly check on to see if you can feel the strings, because that's how you know it's in place. And she's like, yeah, I usually cut my strings pretty long and I can barely see or feel yours, or like barely see it, and I can barely touch it. And I was like, that's great, it's only been 2 weeks. And she was trying to pull it out with her fingers and she couldn't, so she had to use like these weird long scissor things that were literally like this big probably, and she had to use that to take it out. The taking it out didn't hurt. It was just like a little pressure. I was happy when I got it put in. I was like asleep, because I guess that's like really painful to get it put in, and that's why I wanted to try it out while I was asleep so I wouldn't have that pain. And she said again, like after she took it out, she was like, your string shrunk so much. I was like, so what does that mean? I was like, does that mean the Mirena moved? And she's like, yeah, it means your Mirena moved up. And I only had it for 2 weeks and the thing moved and my strings were almost gone. So if I had it longer, I probably would have had it like, have to get it like surgically removed at some point in my life. And maybe that's why I was getting the migraines or something. My body being like, this isn't in the right spot. So I was pissed. I had it for like 2 weeks. I've been bleeding super heavy since getting it taken out, and my cycle's gonna be all messed up now. So I'm kind of mad because I only made like more issues for myself. So yeah, don't get the Mirena unless you really want to. There are some people that have good stories with it, but there's some people that don't. When I had the Mirena, I joined a Mirena group chat on Facebook, which I wish I joined it before I got the Mirena, because I would never joined it, because it was just mostly a bunch of people saying they hated it. So that was just my luck. So yeah, that was my laparoscopy experience, and that was my Mirena experience. I also, this past Thursday, had an endoscopy done, which is where they put a tube down your throat and they look at some of your stuff like stomach up, and I might have answers. They said they might have saw something, but I had to get sent off, so I'm not gonna hear back for like 10 days, which is like, I want to have an answer, but then I don't want to have an answer because I don't want to have something wrong. So maybe once I get news on that, I'll make a video on that one. And I don't know, I feel like I had more to say, but I'm like blanking now that I'm making this video. But that's, yeah, that was basically my experience. Still don't know what's wrong with me. I recently just had like 13 vials of blood taken for to do an autoimmune disease thing, because I got blood taken a while ago and I was ANA positive, but then I went to see a rheumatologist and he was like, you don't seem like you have those signs wrong with you, so let's do like a huge thing of blood. And I walk in the room, like, we're taking 13 vials, and I was like, great. I had like a migraine. I only ate like half a bagel that day, so I was like, this is good. So yeah, that's like what I have for you guys. I'll post this video this week, and I do have another video planned this week too. So yeah, I know it's been a while and I wanted to update you guys sooner, but I also don't have answers. I also start school September 21st, so I'm hoping everything works out on time, because I don't want to postpone school again, because their next full-time course isn't even until November. So like, I'll just be heartbroken if I have to postpone it again, because I don't want to miss school because of going to doctor's appointments and stuff. So yeah, thanks for watching. Tune into future videos. Follow me on Instagram. I'll put it right here. It's Ariana_Margios. And my makeup page is Daily Beauty Co. So let me know if you guys, like, if you've had any laparoscopy or Mirena experiences down below, or if this video helped you, if you were I can't even talk, if you were looking to see what those things were about. So yeah, thanks for watching, and bye.